Yes, guys, Coach Sam here, and we're bringing you the third installment of this week's training. So on Monday, we went through the first sort of steps really in regards to goal setting, and then on which was really good. We did that on the SOS Athletic Excellence business page, which I'm live on now. So we did that on there. So if any of you missed it, you can go back and see that on there, which is good. It was a very good training. I think people took a lot of value from it. I do apologize if you can hear my dog screeching in the background. I'll have to get him out to come and get him out now. But yeah, that was Monday, and I think a lot of people took a lot of value from it. If you missed that training, go back and watch it, and you can watch these in a 3-part series in terms of maximizing the value that you get from this week's training. Also, just comment below, and I'll happily tag you because we put it on YouTube as well. Okay, then that was Monday. We just talked about goal setting, why it's important. We talked a little bit about different types of goals. The short-term goals, long-term goals, how to break down. Maybe a goal that can be a little bit overwhelming into smaller chunks, and why goal setting is important in regards to success. I think if you can look at successful people, they set goals. Goals are a way of holding you accountable. They're a way of you being honest with yourself and evaluating whether you're doing what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Okay, so if you show me someone's goals, I'll show you their future. And I can always remember my first mentor when he said to me, right, tell me about your goals. Get your journal, show me your goals. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, have you got them in front of you? And I said, no. And he's like, well, go and get them. And I was like, I literally didn't have any. And he was like, if you haven't got any goals, I'll show you, I'll show you exactly where you'll be in a year's time or 2 years from now. And that's probably exactly where you are right now, which isn't what you want. Okay. And I think another really good quote or saying is, if you don't plan your future, somebody else will probably plan it for you. Okay. Let me just get this dog out. Sully, go on. What's him on? He's too loud, babe. Okay, so yeah, Sully's gone. So yeah, if you don't plan your future, somebody else will probably plan it for you, and they probably haven't got a lot planned, which is quite a humoristic way of or funny way of looking at it. So I'm guessing you're like me. You want to determine where you're going to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now, and you don't want to let that up to chance. Okay, so we get one shot of this life. We may as well try and create, a future that we want for ourselves, our health, our family, whatever it is. So that's what we spoke about on Monday. And then on Wednesday in our private members group, so all the members of SOS had a really good training from Coach Greg, Coach Zoe, and Coach James. Just in terms of, taking those goals we had earlier, we created on Monday, the thought process of those goals on Monday, and actually making them become a reality in terms of emotions. And we spoke a lot about manifestation and created a vivid vision. And we spoke about vision boards. And there were some really good case studies. James had a great case study from Jim Carrey on how he, used the vision of a £10 million check for his first movie. And he used to drive to Beverly Hills and look at the houses there. And he imagined, he manifested that one day he'd live in one of those houses and he'd be a successful person and with a nice car with big gates up to the house, and he'd be getting paid millions and millions of pounds for or dollars in America for taking part in movies. And this was before he was an actor, and he's someone that's some great videos on YouTube, by the way. So if you're unsure about manifestation and vision boards, watch the Jim Carrey Vivid Vision video, and he talks about how he used it, and he put the check in his wallet, so every single day when he opened his check, he's seen it. So that's what we spoke about on Wednesday, and how what to put on your vision board, not making the vision board too vague, making it very, very real. And you can take a vision board even further if you want to, by actually writing a day in your life, if you like, in terms of if it's for fat loss, for example. Imagine now you're a member of a gym and you're really struggling with certain exercises. You're walking in the gym, maybe you're lacking confidence. You feel that people are looking at you and they're judging you. They're thinking, what's she doing here? She's not fit enough for this. And you just fast forward, to 12 months, 18 months time, and you can write down a really vivid explanation of what your life is like when you walk in the gym. So you could be that you walk in and you're not nervous. People are looking at you because you're in great shape. They think that, you're one of the more experienced people here. They want to look like you. People are asking you questions because they presume by the way you look that you know what you're on about. You're confident in terms of increasing the weight on the bar. You're helping people, whereas before you were unsure whether you were doing it right yourself. So you can actually fast forward 12 months from now, and rather than actually having a vision board with imagery, you can actually write a story. And a lot of successful entrepreneurs do this. They'll wake up every day and they'll read to themselves their vivid vision, and it can be like a 1 or 2 page piece of A4. And you just read it back to yourself in terms of, what your life is going to be like. And, it creates an emotion, an attachment to these things, and a focus. And I said before, I've been saying since 2014, where focus goes, energy flows. So, it gives you that focus, and it reaffirms that, where you want to be. And then because you're reaffirming those things of what's important to you, the journey ahead, you're reminding yourself where you're going, where you want to be, why you want to achieve it. Then you can start looking at the process of actually getting there, in regards to setting daily habits and monitoring whether you are actually on course or not to make it happen. Okay, so guys, everyone has dreams, everyone has goals, but people get confused a little bit about it. So your dreams determine your goals. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so if you missed Monday's training, this is a bit of a recap. Your dreams determine your goals. Secondly, then your goals, okay, map out your actions. All right, so dreams, goals, and actions are totally different things. So your dreams determine your goals. Your goals map out your actions. Your actions create the results, and then it's the results that bring you the success. Okay, so it's a 4-part process. So first of all, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. Okay, you need to dream. What do you want your life to look like? Where do you want to be in 12 months from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And then we can start working backwards. We can set some goals in terms of how to get there. Now, that vivid vision could be for 2021 that you want to lose 3 stone. Okay, so you can break that down. The goal is to lose 3 stone, but we can break that down into a longer term goal, which is actually the 3 stone, and then a short term goal, which could be losing 1 stone every 4 months. So you don't focus too much on the long term goal. Yes, you might keep reading that manifestation you've written, that vivid vision, but the first goal, the first focus is on that first stone, the first small step. Then you've got your vivid vision. We've created the dream. We've got the short-term goal and the long-term goal. Now what you're going to do is you're going to create actions in terms of how to get there, now in terms of how to get that result. Okay, so the actions will be the next thing. It might be that you're going to train 3 days a week. It might be that you're going to have some accountability. It might be that you start tracking your calories on MyFitnessPal. Okay, and whenever you take a step towards that goal, a result, even if it's not the result, a small result, then that you need to celebrate that, because that is success. And we need to make this journey enjoyable, and you need to make sure that you give yourself a little pat on the back now and again. Okay, so in terms of creating this roadmap, which is what we're about tonight, tonight's training is going to be more about goal thinking versus goal planning. All right, or goal setting versus goal getting. A lot of people are very good at setting goals, and not a lot of people are good at getting their goals. Okay, because a lot of people focus on the what. What's the goal? Okay, I want to lose 3 stone. Why do I want to do it? I want to do it because I feel fat. I'm not comfortable in a bikini. I just don't feel very nice. I lack self-confidence. I have to wear hoodies all the time. And not just because it's cold, but you rather wearing like baggy clothes. A lot of people are very good at that. We know the what and we know the why. Okay, but none of us really actually articulate the process of how we're actually going to do this. Okay, and that's the difference between goal thinking is the what and a bit of the why. That's the goal thinking element, but the goal planning or the goal getting element is actually how are we going to articulate this in order to succeed. Okay, so guys, if anyone's got any questions as we go through this, just shoot them in, and obviously I can go through with you. So I like to, in terms of the goal getting, I like to use a roadmap acronym. Okay, so how this works, I'll see if I can bring it up now. Okay, so roadmap stands for R is really simple, is recognizing your dreams. Okay, so this is the first step of achieving a goal. So recognize your dreams, like we said, is important. You've got a dream. Okay, we spoke about it before. Dreams determine your goals map out your actions create results, and the results bring you success. But it all starts with that dream. You need to know where you're going if you're gonna get there. Okay, so you've got a dream. Now, a lot of people are very good at looking at where they want to go, that dream, that goal, which is brilliant, but not many people are very good in terms of observing where they are right now. Okay, so you have to observe where you are right now. So the first step is, like we said, recognize your dreams. The first step is to dream big, add clarity, use your dream to articulate your desired future, state the desired outcome as a vivid picture. Like we said, everything starts with your dream, and if you can articulate that, then and you can then create a journey or a map in order to get there. Look, we're good at that. We're good at setting the what and the why, but observing your starting point. Why is this important, guys? Okay, because if you want to lose a certain amount of weight, you need to know exactly where you are right now in order to measure whether you're making progress or not. And you see so many people, especially in the weight loss or fat loss industry, they have goals, but they're scared of the weighing scales. They want to weigh and lose weight, okay, but they don't even want to weigh to know where they are right now. So, without that data, you haven't got a feedback loop, and it makes measuring success and celebrating success very, very difficult. Because, for example, you want to lose 3 stone because you feel awful, you feel overweight, but you don't want to weigh. So after a month or 2, you weigh, okay, and you don't know whether you've done well or not. We got no feedback loop, and we don't know whether what you've been doing is working or not. So we need data in order to do that. So observing your starting place is very, very important. Okay. So roadmap, what it stands for, I'll run through this just quickly so you know what we're going to be working our way through. R is to recognize your dreams. We'll go through each of these on tonight's call, which will be about 25 minutes or so. O for observing a starting place, which you just spoke about, why that's important. A for articulating a statement of purpose, okay, which is a bit like the vivid vision we spoke about on Wednesday. D for defining your goals. M for moving into action. Action is the thing people tend to struggle with. A for adjusting your plans, and P for pointing to success to celebrate. So we've already spoke about recognizing your dreams and observing your start point. I think most people that have a coach, they know exactly where they are, because that's one thing a coach is good at, is getting that data to actually measure whether what we're doing is working or not. And if it's not working, we can make those marginal gains. Marginal gains is an amazing sort of theory, and British Cycling were one of the first people to do it. And in terms of, it was phenomenal what they did. You can read a book on marginal gains. And what they did was they looked at everything, and they just made 1% improvements in terms of all the British cycling team. They hadn't won a gold medal for they hadn't won a medal for over 150 years. Not even I think that they had 1 bronze medal 120 years ago, and that was it. Now British cycling are dominating, or the British team are dominating cycling, and they did this by the law of marginal gain. So what happened was, every single hotel they went to, each athlete would sleep on the same mattress. They transported all the mattresses around the world, so that every night that the British cyclists could have the best possible night's sleep. Okay, so that's one of the things they did. They also, made sure that everyone's pre-workout meal was specific calories. So they made sure every single athlete had the optimal amount of protein, fats, and carbs, and this was all worked out with blood tests. They did everything, anything you can think of, they did. They even looked at the massage oil used on each athlete in terms of which one helped facilitate the best recovery. So athlete A might have this sort of massage oil, athlete B would have this one, athlete C would have another one. And they measured that in terms of how they recovered and how it helped their muscle soreness with questionnaires, and also sleep as well. So the law of marginal gains is great, but all this data obviously helps us determine whether the action we put into place is worthwhile. And then if it isn't, we can adjust your plans. We can make, like I said, these marginal changes to, rather than using this massage oil, yes, use this one instead. Rather than sleeping on this mattress, let's try this one. And you find that formula that works, and then you just keep doing it repeatedly. And that's what success is often, doing the mundane, boring tasks consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And that's how these cyclists become the best in the world, and obviously, Olympic gold medalists or Tour de France champions. Okay, and then the P stands for pointing to success, and obviously celebrating. Okay, so yeah, that's a roadmap, guys. So whenever you want to succeed, we want to make sure we start goal getting rather than goal setting. Make sure you have points of focus in terms of the roadmap acronym. Okay, so I always find it hard to say acronym. All right, I still don't think I'm saying it right. Okay, so articulate a statement of purpose. What does this basically mean? Okay, so in regards to this, is like I said, is having that vivid vision of where you want to go. Write a statement of purpose that reflects your dreams, values, and convictions in a way that inspires you and helps you stay on course. So on days when you're demotivated, on days when you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to train, hopefully reading this vivid vision or this articulated a statement of purpose will give you the desire to do it. And often referring back to why you're doing it is great, you know. So if it's to see if you're getting, you know, you're an old age pension and you're getting older, and maybe, you know, a lot of your friends and family, or a lot of friends maybe are getting health conditions, and you don't want to have that. Maybe you want to be fit and healthy into your older years. So that could be something you want to be a good role model for maybe your grandkids. Okay, so it doesn't matter what it is, but having something powerful is going to often you know, give you a bit of motivation when you know, a bit of focus and a bit of determination when maybe motivation is suffering a little bit. So once you've given more thought to your dream and it's started to become a bit clearer in your mind, you're ready to take another step. Writing this statement will obviously help you. Okay, it'll give you that direction. You could call it like a philosophy. You know, and is the road of where you're going, is your success road. Okay, is you know, every day you need to take a step forward down this road if you can. And you know, it can change. It doesn't going to be the same every time. As you develop, this statement can develop as well. Okay, so yeah, and I got one here from Freya Oldham Hanson, who's the attorney's wife. I found one in John Maxwell's book, and he says his purpose of statement was to offer compassionate, complete, competent services in her law practice, to write words that inspire God-pleasing changes in others, and to make her life be such that she lives to bless humankind. So such a powerful statement, much greater than what she could probably imagine doing if she just woke up in the morning and went off to work. It gives it a real big purpose in terms of the lives and the impact she can have. So this statement should get, you know, it should have a big impact. The next one then is defining your goals. Okay, now a lot of people have very shitty goals. Zoe spoke about this on Monday, and James as well. You know, I want to track my calories more consistently. That's not a goal. That's a process that you'll follow in terms of helping you become what you want to become. So don't set shitty goals. Define them, write them down, base them on your dream in a way that's personal, specific, achievable, measurable, and time sensitive. So they need to be SMART goals. Okay, and Zoe spoke about that as well on Monday. So just recapping this a little bit. These will be activities or accomplishments that you plan to complete to fulfill your purpose, to develop your potential. Write them down, guys. Put them somewhere you can see them. Okay, and definitely put a time frame on it. And that's really important as well. The time frame in terms of setting goals. That's why observing where you are right now is important. And in terms of defining your goals, I think, you know, in terms of this, you shouldn't set goals that are determined by other people. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of, for example, saying, you know, I've got a goal. I want my husband to treat me better, or my wife to treat me better. That's dependent on your wife or your husband. Or, you know, I want to win the London Marathon for an athlete, for example. That's determined by who else competes. I'd rather say I'm going to, you know, do the Cardiff Half Marathon in September, and rather than say I'm going to win it, you know, which I never am, by the way, rather than setting a goal that's dependent on other people, say that I'm going to run a personal best. Okay, that's a goal that you're 100% in control of, because if your goals are dependent on other people, then you know, in a way, I think you're setting yourself up to fail. You know, so a process goal that's specific to you could be, you know, if you can do 3 chin-ups now, I want to be able to do 10 chin-ups on a 4-second eccentric tempo by the end of the year. That's a great goal. Whereas saying I want to be the best person in the gym that does chin-ups, you know, a week before you set you try and measure that. You know, some Olympic gymnast could join the gym and trump you and do 3 times more than you, and then you feel pretty shit, even though you've set a personal best. So, guys, with your goals, don't compare them to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy, as is a great saying I've seen a lot on Instagram lately. So don't compare yourself to other people. Your goal should be specific to you. And, you know, however well other people do shouldn't make you feel bad. Celebrate their success. Be their cheerleaders, and they'll cheer you on as well. You know, the only people you're competing with in terms of your goals is yourself. Okay, so they need to be personal to be effective. Okay, and like I said, make them about you. It's about your identity, and no one else's. Okay, so make sure you're in control of them. Okay, so that's defining your goals. And then, guys, this is the biggest thing. Now, this is the goal. Get in, move into action. You have to take action. Okay, German poet and novelist Johann Wolfgang once said, "Thinking is easy, acting is difficult, and to put one's thoughts into action is the most difficult thing in the world." Maybe that's why so few people follow through and act on their goals. I heard the other day, guys, okay, that, oh, look at this. Greg Harris, 2/3 of people surveyed, okay, 67 out of 100 people set goals themselves, okay, so only 67% of people actually set goals, all right, so 33% of people are not even setting goals, which is pretty shocking. It's quite sad, but of those 67 people who set them, only 10 have made realistic plans to reach their goals. So a lot of people set goals, but very few people put actions in place in how to make those goals come true. Okay, it's a very small margin. Okay, only 10%. All right, and then only 2 follow through with actually making them happen. Okay, so 10% of people actually think about the process of achieving their goals, and out of that 10%, only 2% actually make it happen. Okay, which is, it goes to show, guys, that's why success is hard. But a lot of people, a big percentage of people let themselves down by not even setting a goal or think about that process of goal setting. Okay, which is shocking. So, guys, let's have a little little pause here. And I just want to ask you some questions. Really, what is have you been guilty this year, or maybe 2021 with your New Year's resolutions? Are you thinking about your goals a lot? Maybe spend a lot of time goal setting, but you're not thinking so much about the goal getting. Are we focusing a lot on the outcome, a lot more, or are you actually thinking about the process of those small wins, those habits that we have to put into play? Because this is the thing we're going to talk about next. The actions around achieving the goal. So I'd love to hear what you're thinking about in terms of how you can actually goal get rather than just goal set. What do you need to do on a daily basis in order to achieve it? And Sue is on the call, and she's had an amazing success with her fat loss efforts. She did a photo shoot just before Christmas and looked insane, looked phenomenal, and she's lost around 14 stone in weight now. So Sue, you are someone on this call. Yeah, you are one of the people I know that knows how to set goals and get goals. So well done to you. And then the next thing then is adjusting your plans. Now, if you have, and this is what I always do, and this is like something I haven't really shared with anyone. So I didn't really realize that I did it, but it definitely works for me. And that's, breaking my goal down into actually what's required. A lot of people say to me, do you want to do this? And I'm either all in or not in. I'm one of those people, is either a hard yes or a straight no. So I break it down into what's actually required. Okay, so when people say to me, do I want to do a photo shoot, or do I want to do a powerlifting competition, or am I going to play football for another season? That was one thing that was on my mind a lot this year. Am I going to play football for another season? And you have to weigh up all the positives and the negatives. And for me, it's a great mental release from work. So that was a huge positive. I can go to football. I can switch off. I don't think about anything for 90 minutes other than, just the physicality, the competition. It's great for my mind. But then the negative is, then the next day is I can't walk. All right. And I've had an ACL reconstruction, a full knee construction on my left leg. So, when we're playing 2 games a week, as nice as that is to have that mental release, like my knee is in agony, but then I can comprehend that by having regular massage. So, okay, even though it's a negative, is it really a negative if I can actually do something about it? So I weighed this up this year, and I decided to play for another season. And for me, the positives outweighed the negatives, but I looked at it, I broke it down. I looked at what was actually required in terms of the time commitment, the effort, the muscle soreness, the weekly massages, the time it is going to take me to be able to get on the pitch and perform at a high level. I weighed it all up, and I decided to give it a go. And sadly, obviously, coronavirus has taken its toll, and we haven't been able to play. But that's something to do, guys. It's like break it down. And sometimes, there's nothing wrong with going, you know what? I'm not prepared to make those sacrifices. I'm not prepared to make those changes. And in regards to the photo shoot, I did the last one. I think it'll be 2 years in April now. I think, 2 years in April. Or was it 3 years? No, 2 years in April, I think it is. And, a few people asked me to do one last year, and I wasn't prepared to do it. I wasn't prepared to diet. I wanted to have a good Christmas this year. I had social events, and I didn't want to be that guy that wasn't having a good time. Wasn't because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it properly. I'm a big believer in that. So it was much easier for me to say no. So don't be afraid to say to people, that's not for me. We haven't got an infinite amount of energy and resources and mental capacity. So a bit like James said, with your goal, the actions for those goals. Don't have too many because they'll end up slipping away. But always break it down and see if you're prepared to do what's needed to be done in order to succeed. And if you're unsure about what's required in order to succeed, then there's probably been 150, 200 people that's gone before you, in your local community that have set similar goals that you can lean on and ask for help. So, if you want to lose, like one of the girls I trained, she wants to lose 6 stone this year. And I said, well, that's great. That's a brilliant goal, but how much weight did you lose this year? And she didn't lose any. She actually put weight on. So that's a huge, change in direction to go from actually putting on maybe at 1.5 stone this year to losing 6 stone. We got to change the direction of the ship and then go some again, So it's going to take a big overhaul in terms of lifestyle, in terms of habits. And, that's brilliant, but you need to be prepared for that. And, a lot of people aren't quite prepared to do what's needed to be done to get the end goal. And that's fine. You can maybe adjust the goal or readjust the time frame we set, because losing 6 stone in 2 years is easy, but losing 6 stone in 1 year, it might be a little bit too much. And if that means the enjoyment factor, the sacrifices that you need to make in order to do that, are going to make your life suffer in other areas. Maybe your relationship's going to suffer. Maybe you can't have, 2 or 3 date nights a week. Maybe you can't have that weekend Chinese and a bottle of wine. All right. But if it's over 2 years, maybe we can still keep in some of these fun things. And maybe you don't have to train, as often. That's going to maybe affect your work or affect, the time you have with your kids, etc. So, that's where getting expert help can sometimes assist. But the other thing I do as well, which is good, and this all comes down to planning, is I use January just to trial things. Okay, so use January to take your goals on a test drive. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So this year now, I want to get into better shape. Okay, football season isn't happening because of this awful virus. Okay, which I wish people would just stay at home for. All right, but that's a talk for a different day. So use January to take your goals on a test drive. So what I mean by that is, I had a great December. I was eating selection boxes for breakfast. Like me and Mel would open a selection box and I'm not sharing, and I'd eat the whole thing. I was drinking IPA most nights and I had a great time. Anyway, I did put on a few kilos and a bit of body fat, and I totally own it and I don't regret it one bit. All right. But, because Christmas is there to have a good time. We got Sully and it was good. I love December. But January now, I want to get back on track. So I'm just seeing what I need to do in terms of starting to dial things in. So Monday, I did my body fat on the in-body, which is good. I had to come in because we needed the lights changed in the office in the gym because all our lights are out. That's why it's so bright in here now. I feel like I'm in a nightclub in the valleys, yeah? All right. And so I went on the in-body and I put on a little bit of body fat. Muscle mass dropped a little bit, because I wasn't training regularly. So I've just dialed things in a little bit this week, backtracking my calories, eating more vegetables, drinking a bit more water. Mel's bought me one of these great things. So I'm having 2 or 3 of these a day. Just simple things. And I honestly feel so much better. Like my skin's improved. I was starting to come up with like spots on my back and stuff just because I was eating a lot of processed food. And I feel great. So it makes you wonder, like I'm definitely going to carry on following, the small changes I made next week into this week because I feel better. So, I'm reaffirming that I'm doing this for me. Like my energy's better. I'm waking up, a bit more vibrant. I'm not saying I was struggling to get out of bed or anything, but I just feel like I've got more energy. And training's been a little bit better. This week I'm doing triceps at home with the bands, which are killing me. Yeah, I went for a press up yesterday with the blue band and the green band, and I almost broke my nose. They pulled me back down. But, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, right? And I'm just using January as a test drive to see, what parts that I stopped doing that I actually enjoy doing, because I'm going to definitely keep them in for the rest of the year. And then what I'll do then is I'll see then come February, really what's worked really well, what hasn't worked so well. I'm going to be getting the data. I'm using a little spreadsheet just to track all my calorie intake. I'm seeing what happens when my carbs are a little bit higher, my fat's a bit higher. I'm just collecting all this data. I'm enjoying the journey. And then come the end of January, I can really assess in terms of what's worked for me. Like today's been awful for steps. I'm on, what am I on now? I'm embarrassed to tell you this. What am I on so far? 4,084 steps. Okay, because I've been literally on the laptop all day just doing a lot of work. But I will go out for a walk later. But this week's been good for steps. I've been hitting like 10, 12,000 most days. This is the first day since November. I've got in 4 workouts a week. I did Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, resistance training. So I'm back enjoying it, so it's great. I'm not doing everything I need to do, but that's fine as well. I'm not chucking everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm making small changes here and there, and I'm happy to have slower, more consistent progress. And then I can adjust my plans. Okay. So that's the last thing we spoke about. Adjust your plans based on results and feedback. Get it biofeedback. Change what's not working. Do more of what is working. Okay. So like I said, my steps haven't been great today, but I'm happy. I'll be happy today just to get maybe just short of 10,000. I know it's not perfect, but this week has been good for steps, and I can make up a few extra steps tomorrow and Sunday. I'll take that data for the week. Maybe I've averaged 10,000, which is great. If I can lose body fat only doing 10,000 steps a day, I know I can do 11,000, 12,000, and I got all these trump cards up my sleeve. But as you act on your goals, you'll need to continue to review them and your progress in order to make adjustments. And that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm using January, and I advise you too as well, just to make these small mini adjustments. Some goals won't really contribute to your dream or purpose and will need to be eliminated. So for certain things might not really be having a big impact, very small changes. And if they're causing you a lot of frustration, a lot of negative energy, get them out. Find something that's going to work for you. Okay. As President Abraham Lincoln said, my great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. So like I said on the call on Monday, set goals to make you a better human. It's not what achieving the goals is all about. It's not what the success is about. The daily disciplines that it takes to obviously tick those boxes and and be consistent is what the goal actually makes you. Okay, so you can adjust your plans. Okay, and then the last thing, guys, really before we just wrap up, is celebrate your success. Okay, so a lot of people they set weight loss goals, and it could be like we said 3 stone in a year, and they don't really celebrate any milestones along the way. If you lose that first stone, celebrate, whether that's having a glass of wine with your partner or sharing a bottle of wine or going out for a nice meal, having one meal that's off plan, then do it. One sunshine doesn't make a summer, as they say. So make sure you enjoy the journey and celebrate those small wins, celebrate those mini successes. Make sure there's people around you that are obviously celebrating with you as well. Get your friends involved, get your family involved. Get that strong support network around you that you're all helping each other succeed. And that's the big thing that we do here at SOS is, we got our Project Health group, which I know Bex is on here now. Sue's in a lifestyle group with Zoe. We collate members up into mini groups of people, little teams, if you like, that are all working with individual coaches. And it's great because it provides like a mini support network, but it's not like a huge Facebook group with 500 people where people get a bit lost and a bit, self-conscious. These relationships can develop and you can all celebrate your wins together, share successes together, pick each other up if they're having a bad day, whatever it is. Okay. So, don't be afraid to fail, with anything in life. You either win or you learn, you never really lose. And it's all about this biofeedback in terms of, sharpening your axe and making sure next time you go and try and achieve something, you're better prepared. Okay. So, after that, then guys, just some simple things to finish, I think. So, we said celebrate your success, via your roadmap for success. Finally, you accomplish some of your goals. Take the time to celebrate. You deserve the success. Acknowledge your success. Acknowledge other people's success as well, and they'll do the same for you. Okay. And like I said on Monday's call, aim for the stars. And if you land in the sky, is not so bad. But if you aim for the sky and land in the clouds, it's not a destination that you want to be on. Okay. So, guys, just to wrap things up before we go into any questions, action is the key. Okay. Don't be that person that sets goals and goes, oh fuck yeah, didn't really happen, did it? Put habits in place or put procedures in place that, where you maybe sit down once a week with a journal and a coffee, and for 30 minutes, you just look back at your week and assess whether, the actions you took this week were congruent with your vision, your vivid vision, or that, that story we spoke about on A4 paper that you're going to write about. Articulate the journey or the story in your head in terms of where you want to be. And don't be afraid if you've made slow progress. Slow progress is better than no progress. And it shows what you're doing is working, but you might just need to do it to a bit more intensity, or even more consistently. So, guys, tonight's live was just about that. Just speaking about the difference between actually goal setting and goal getting. So many people do this and they they don't do it really well. So there's some little tips for success. And I love this Chinese proverb. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be only afraid of standing still. I think that's the worst, fear for me, is not improving. It winds me up. Like a lot of my mates, I'm from the valleys, I'm from Abercynon, Beverly Hills of the valleys, and a lot of my mates, they just live for the weekend, and they work in dead end jobs, and I love them to bits, but they, Friday night they're in the I don't know how they're coping with this virus, but normally Friday night they're in the pub, Saturday they wake up with a hangover, they play rugby or football, back in the pub, they'll piss all their wages up against the wall on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they just live for the weekend, but they sit in the same part of the pub they are now as they were 15 years ago when I lived with my mum and dad. And for me, that's just not what life's about. I can do that with them in 20, 30 years time. And for me, it's life's about challenging yourself and trying to get better. And the whole process of goal setting is important for that. So guys, I hope you found that useful. So the main take home is action. Set your goals, make sure they're smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timeframes. Use the roadmap analogy that we spoke about at the start. I'll bring it back up for you now so you can see. Okay, and make sure you spend a bit of time with your journal, just articulating every single part of this roadmap analogy. Recognize your dreams. Why is it important to you? Observe where you are right now. Is that goal realistic in the time frame you've set? Is it have we got some data for where we are right now in terms of that starting place? Can we articulate a vision board or a statement of purpose that we can read every day to manifest where we want to go? Define those goals, not just what they are, but why they're important to you. Okay, and then we're going to move into action then, where we're moving away from the what and the why in terms of how we're actually going to get there. What activities do we need to do on a daily, weekly basis in order to succeed? All right, okay, that's fine. All right, and then the action. Then what does that look like in terms of daily disciplines? In terms of the outcome, are we focused on winning, or are we actually focused on just becoming a better version of ourselves? These goals need to be things that we're in control of. So winning a challenge. All right, I know Sue said she's very reward driven. Sue got a bit obsessed with the My Zone challenge, and it probably was at the detriment of her photo shoot, because she was so focused on the My Zone challenge that she didn't carb up, and she was still doing cardio. And then she actually looked amazing post-Christmas after eating lots of celebration boxes and mince pies. But again, are you letting your ego sometimes maybe get in the way of your goals? Or are you happy with that? Are you a team player and you just like chasing different challenges? And that's fine as well. But, by setting a goal, then you can look at them, whether these sparkly lights or, these distractions are actually going to help you get to your goal. All right. Or are they going to take you away from your goal? And we see it a lot with, I got a lot with the gym where, a new exercise program comes out or a new way of training. Well, we could be on the way to a successful business, and then all of a sudden the next big thing is Zumba. Well, we're going to be a Zumba gym, or we're going to be a kettlebell gym, or then we're going to be a whatever gym. And, people start getting disorientated and disjointed then in terms of your company philosophy, your message, and you end up, even though you might attract a lot of new members, you can lose a lot of new members. So, sometimes don't be, don't look at the sparkly lights. Stay on the journey. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just focus on you, okay, and your goals, all right? And, that's probably the best way to get to where you want to be. So, so Sue said, yeah, realistic. I think realistic is good. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time frame. Yeah. For me, it's habits. What you do every day is the count. Yeah. And any members, guys, on this call, on our app, Trainerize, we can actually put habits on there for you. So if you want us to set some habits for you on there that you can tick off every day. I know with Beck, she does journaling every day. And now she's finding time for daily mobility, which is great because although she's super fit, yeah, lots of running has probably meant that her calves are super tight and she struggles to keep her heels down when she squats. So we put that on her training app. And she can tick off those habits every day. And when she's doing that consistently, then we can build a chain. We can add new habits. Yeah. So yep, Lisa and I had our meeting with James. Set short goals, short and long term. Feeling good. Great. So yeah, all our members now, guys, you should all be having sit down meetings via Skype or Zoom. or FaceTime, however you want to do it, with Greg, Zoe, and James. I did a call today with Ben as well, who's Kate's husband. He started online coaching with me, and he's great. Like, the call was amazing, because I was like, mate, you're doing fantastic. You've lost 3 kilos in the first week. And he's like, right, what do I do? And I was like, nothing, just carry on, because I had that data. I know what he's been doing every day. He's doing his 4 workouts. He's trying his best to hit his steps, even though he's finding it hard. He's, his technique is good. He's giving me feedback on his videos. I'm fine-tuning his technique. Kate's cooking a lot of the food for him. He's like nearly 3 kilos down in week 1. And his steps have been like 3,000 or 4,000 a day. And he still lost 3 or 4 kilos. So I'm delighted that he's not doing everything perfectly. I've got all that feedback from him. We can start making even more positive changes now over the coming months. And as spring and summer starts coming in, I'm sure he can up his steps. We can start training a bit harder. He gets stronger. His workup volume is going to go up. So, I've used this roadmap analogy with all my clients. And the call we had today was great. So, yeah, we've had years of wasted weekends. No more feedback from me. Yeah, Bevy, I'm the same. You can easily, I think a bad weekend, a bad Saturday night, it can, you drink one too many wines or beers, and you wake up on Sunday, you don't feel great. The last thing you feel like having for breakfast is your protein oats or your eggs. You end up having like a bacon sandwich, or, I'm not saying bacon sandwiches are bad, but, you don't end up having as much protein as you should in your first meal. You get on that sort of, sugar roller coaster then, where you've had a craving for those foods, and, have a few biscuits with your cup of tea for lunch, maybe a few more roast potatoes than normal with your Sunday lunch, apple crumble and custard for dessert. And then you think, oh, you know what? I'm not going to track my calories today because it's been a bad day. And then you end up having a takeaway in the night. And it's all because you just had 1 or 2 many drinks on Saturday. So, you've got to be careful in terms of the fun foods you incorporate. I spoke about it before, but everyone has different relationships with different foods. If you're the type of person where, you can have 1 too many drinks on a weekend, and it can make a bad night a bad weekend, and a bad weekend a bad week, then just be careful, be mindful, but, that's all part of your process. And then if you've had a bad week, all you do is you evaluate, and like the roadmap says, you adjust your plans. Yeah, you get that data and you adjust your plans, and you speak to your coach, and they'll help you. They'll give you some expert advice in terms of how to move forward, in terms of making this week better than last week. And that's all goal setting is, guys. Make today better than yesterday. Make this week better than last week. Make this month better than last month. Make this year better than last year. And I think in terms of making this year better than last year, I think we can all do that, because 2020 was a rough year, all right, in terms of, family life, business as well, especially for us. But, I enjoyed 2020. People are like, oh, how did you enjoy 2020? Like, your business was like crushing it in 2019, and then 2020 come along, and you were like, the figures we did in 2020 were shocking compared to the year before. But that's life. You take it on the chin, you learn from it, and you move on. All right, that's all you can do. You can't dwell on the past. The past is the past. You got to look forward, and that's the positive mindset thing. So, again, that could be something you work on. If you've got a negative mindset, you look at the glass half empty sort of analogy. That's what you see when you look at a glass that's half full. Then maybe we need to work on your mindset. And one of your action points could be to read 1 positive mindset book every month. So after 1 year, you've read 12 books on how to get a positive mindset. I guarantee you, after that, you'll make those marginal shifts in terms of the way you think, and that's going to have a positive, positive outlook then on the rest of your life. So, guys, anything can work in terms of this goal set. Anything can be an action. And if you are struggling with certain maybe mindset shifts or anything, then a library card is free. Okay, and I think it's only 5% of the population in the UK has a library card, which is, I haven't got a library card actually, but I buy probably 2 or 3 books a month on Amazon. Okay, so Amazon's my library, an expensive one, but it's a great one. You haven't even got to leave the house to get the book. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Christopher Phillips is asking any book recommendations. Mate, I've got tons. On what, Chris? Let me know on what. If you're looking at things in a negative way, a really good book is The Obstacle is the Way. That's a really good book in terms of thinking, shit, I thought I had it bad. Fuck, I've got no excuse here. That's a really good book in terms of looking at obstacles as actually positives. A really good book we talk about, I know Bex is listening, is Atomic Habits. If you are struggling in terms of nailing down the daily disciplines needed to move forward with your life, then then you can look at that. Okay, so Atomic Habits is a really good one if you just want to start getting really, really disciplined in terms of building a positive chain of events from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, in terms of, you know, habits that are going to make you move forward with your life and your goals. That's a really good one as well. But I've read so many books this year, and a lot of the books I read are mindset based, and a lot of business books as well. I've been doing a lot more business stuff this year, and that's good as well, because it just shows you what success is like. And, you know, it's all about discipline, and that roadmap is the same for business. You've got to put what you learn, you've got to collect the data, and you've got to, you know, make small marginal changes, and then that's how you get the outcome in terms you want. But it all comes down to having a plan, sticking to that plan, and action in that plan, and then reviewing the action, seeing if they're working, and making those small changes. That's all success is. It is super simple when you think about it. So yeah, they'd be my top 2 books, mate, is The Obstacle's the Way and Atomic Habits, and anything by John Maxwell. He's brilliant, and that's where I got this roadmap acronym from. Okay, one of my goals is 1 self-development book per month. So that's a great goal, Bex, because you'll probably easily achieve that, which is great. So, you know, what I tend to do is I like the old chapter a day analogy. The average book has 12 chapters. All right, well, the average books that I read have 12 chapters. So if you think it's 365 days in a year, we divide that by 12. That means you're reading 30 books a year. Now, this is what I said to Mel. Mel wants to do yoga now. Like, she's really enjoying her yoga. So I said to her, she's like, "Oh, like, I'm too old to be good at yoga." I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you know, I'm 33 now, or whatever it is. Like, people have been doing it since they were 20. I'm never going to be very good." John Maxwell, Chris. John Maxwell, he's very, very good. Okay, so, and I said to Mel, if you read 1 chapter a day of a yoga book, by the end of the year, you've read 30 books. You do that for 5 years, you've read 152 books on yoga. I guarantee you that'll put you in the top 3% of people in the UK that know anything about yoga, because you've read 152 books about it. Plus, if you keep practicing every day for just 25 minutes, you know, at least, or 30 minutes, you're going to be fucking good at yoga. So you're going to know a lot about yoga. You're going to be good at yoga. Like, you're going to be a yogi, you know? So when you break it down, you know, you can actually achieve a lot in your lifetime just by doing a little bit of consistent daily action. All right, guys? Oh, bloody hell, I've been going for 47 minutes. I talk a glass eye to sleep, I could. Right, okay, I'll leave that there, guys. Here's the roadmap thingy one more time. So, yeah, if you need to take a screenshot of that, you can. This will be available on Catch Up, and I'll also put it on YouTube. Guys, if you enjoyed that, what I'd appreciate, guys, just give it a like, give it a share, and just comment below 1 positive thing that you took from tonight's live. That would be amazing. So I can then put those positives in my in the description of the video in terms of what people took from it. And if it resonates with anyone, it might inspire them just to have a watch or have a listen. You can listen to this as a podcast as you're going for a walk. Okay, guys. So yeah, give it a like, give it a share, and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time on a Friday evening to listen to me talking about goal setting and goal getting. All right, definitely need a shave, but the barbers are not open, so I'm just going to keep growing it, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys. So next time I see you, it could be down here, especially the speed of this thing grows. I'll speak to you all soon, guys. Have a nice evening and a good weekend. Bye-bye.